turned 50 this year, a couple months ago, and realized I've been playing video games for about 46 of those, 45 of those years. The first game I ever played was this. And now games look like this. And let's be honest, that's from last gen. This is what the games look like now. This is the Ascent, and obviously this is the new Ratchet. If you would have shown me this in 1974, my brain would have popped out of my goddamn head. That's the goddamn truth. Now, I will say, when you're a little kid, at least when I was a little kid, Boot Hill, which is that first game, in my head, I was playing this, but I was absolutely seeing this. Things have changed so much, and I wanted to do this video. I wanted to kind of pick out the top 10 things that really, a lot of them I miss, some of them I don't, but really define what it meant to be one of those people taking the maiden voyage of video games. We were really the first generation that grew up with these things, and we knew what it was like before, and we knew what it was like after. And that's actually a perfect place to start off with number one. If you're a kid today, you don't understand the ability to look at the television and control it. That did not exist before most of us played Atari or, Space War, wherever you kind of came in on. That was mind-blowing. It was, the kids are born today and some of their first memories are moving around on an iPhone or an iPad. Of course they can maneuver shit on a screen. No. We had to get up and change the TV channel. TV came on at a certain time, and if you missed it, you missed it. None of this there was no freedom with what came on that television set. And then suddenly you're able to move these characters around a screen, and it really is the first piece of interactivity that was that sort of entertainment, right? I mean, yeah, you had board games and you had maybe plays and stuff that were interactive, but this was really the first time that I know of where we were able to actually, in some ways, be in the fantasy world that we only read about in books and saw in movies. So I will tell you, we got to have that brain pop of, oh my God, we're controlling the world inside the TV, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. This I miss. There was the joy of discovery. Back then, you would walk into, just take an arcade, you would walk into an arcade on any given weekend, and I remember seeing, you would see Bubbles, right? I mean, Bubbles is a game where you literally play a bubble in a sink. I'm not kidding. You would see Joust, where you're flying around on an ostrich. Brilliant game. You would see these weird games that looked like Star Wars, that were the first Laserdisc games. You're like, and you didn't know what you were going to get. Today, obviously, you know years in advance what games are coming out. You have demos and you have interviews, and all that's great. I wouldn't want to remove that from people. It's great. But man, that joy of when you walked in, you didn't know what the adventure was going to be that day, and there were all often multiple new arcade games, and this went into toy stores too. You'd walk into a toy store buying games for Atari, and yeah, you knew the big ones because the catalogs and stuff sometimes, but you didn't know, you didn't know they were going to make a game based on Alien, or a game based on the super raunchy teen comedy Porky's. And yes, if you're curious, that is the naked lady in the shower from the movie Atari 2600 style. There's even a little pixel opening hole in the wall there where you can see her in the shower just like in the movie. And you had no idea about a company called Apollo. And the Apollo games were so delightfully genre-based. Like space games and space caverns and all these very geeky names that just fire your imagination when you're like 8 or 9. I didn't know that was going to be there. And I think the last time I experienced this was like walking through Blockbuster when the NES games started getting rented. Because even then, yeah, there were video game magazines, but unless you were really kind of hardcore back then, you would walk into Blockbuster and go, holy shit, there's an NES game for Jaws. There's an NES game for Friday the 13th. What the fuck is Golgo 13? Oh my God, this is amazing, right? So that sense of discovery, you get it a little bit with the indie games. You turn on Steam, you don't really know what's coming. But for most gamers today, most core gamers today, that's gone, and that's sad. I really loved that. Look, I don't have a nostalgia for what was before, but I have a nostalgia for life after this was invented. I'm going to show you this commercial. This commercial blew my mind. And it blew a lot of gamers' minds because we didn't know this was possible. Watch this commercial.
This is an arcade game. This is the new Atari Super System. Arcade, Atari Super System. You may like the Super System better. It has some of the best arcade and sports games. It even does something no arcade game can.
Telephone! It's Judy!
It lets you freeze the action.
Hello, Judy.
The new 5200 Super System.
Pausing a video game. That's all. I mean, that's it. That's it. Pause it. Oh, you got to the bathroom. Somebody calls. I mean, it literally used to be you're playing Asteroids. Crap, I got to go pee. Hopefully you got your brother or your friends around. They can take it over. You know, oh, I'm playing Adventure. Oh, shit, I better hope there's someplace I can hide where the dragons or the bat's not going to get me so I can go pee or answer the door for the pizza. Pause. Jesus Christ, man. We lived without pause and we survived. Think about that shit.
Oh, that's strange. It tastes like... Ah!